Hello and welcome to Fluent English Journey. This is the place where we help you learn English in a simple, useful, and real way. I'm very happy that you're here with me today. If you want to improve your English speaking and listening, then you are in the right place. Today's episode is called Stop Studying, Start Speaking. This topic is very important for many English learners, especially for people who are at the intermediate level, B1. Maybe this sounds like you. You can understand English when you listen or read. You can read English books or watch English videos. But when it's time to speak, you feel nervous, shy, or maybe you say nothing at all. Does that sound familiar? If yes, don't worry. You are not alone. Many students around the world feel the same way. They study grammar, they memorize vocabulary, they do many exercises, but when they need to speak, they don't feel confident. Why does this happen? The reason is simple. They study too much, but they speak too little. This episode is for you if you want to stop only studying English and start actually using English in real life. Speaking is how we learn. Many learners think that speaking comes after studying. They believe, first I need to study grammar and vocabulary. Then one day, I will be ready to speak. But the truth is different. Speaking is not something we do after studying. Speaking is how we learn. Let me give you an example. Imagine you want to learn how to swim. You watch videos about swimming. You read books about swimming. You even learn the names of different swimming styles. But if you never go into the water, will you really learn how to swim? Of course not. The only way to learn swimming is to get into the water and practice. Learning English is the same. You can study grammar, you can memorize hundreds of words, but if you never open your mouth and try to use English, you will not feel fluent. The problem with traditional studying. Most students learn English in the traditional way. Maybe you have done this too. You buy a grammar book and learn all the tenses, present simple, past perfect, future continuous. You write long lists of vocabulary, maybe 20 or 30 new words every day. You read English books or watch movies with subtitles. You listen to English songs or podcasts. These things are good. They help you learn. But here is the problem. Many students only study English. They don't use English. They don't speak. They don't try to have conversations. They wait and wait until they feel ready. But guess what? That day may never come. Maybe you say, but I study a lot. I know so many words. Why can't I speak? This is very common. Many learners say the same. I understand English, but I can't speak. I can watch movies, but when I try to talk, my mind goes blank. I forget the words. I feel shy. I don't know how to say what I want. If this happens to you, it's not your fault. This is because traditional studying is only half of the journey. The real key to fluency. Fluency comes from using English, not just studying it. When you speak, you practice making sentences in real time. When you speak, you make mistakes, and that's how you learn faster. When you speak, you train your brain to think in English. That is why the secret to fluency is simple. Stop studying so much and start speaking more. In this episode, I will show you why traditional studying is not enough, why speaking is the real key to fluency, how you can start speaking today even if you don't live in an English-speaking country. Simple, everyday tips to practice your speaking. This lesson will be easy to understand and full of ideas you can use right now. So sit back, relax, and listen carefully. You can also repeat some of my sentences after me if you want to practice speaking. Let's begin this journey together. It's time to stop only studying and start speaking English. Imagine this. You read books about how to move your arms and legs in water. You even learn the names of all the swimming styles, freestyle, backstroke, butterfly. But you never get into the water. Do you think you will become a good swimmer? Of course not. Right? The same thing happens with English. You can study grammar rules. You can learn vocabulary. You can read books and write lists of words. But if you never use the language, you will never become a confident speaker. English is a living language. English is not like math or history, where you only study rules and facts. English is a living language. It is something you use to connect with people, to express yourself, and to share your ideas and feelings. And the best way to learn a living language is to use it, especially by speaking it. But here's the problem. Many students believe they must be perfect before they speak. They think, first, I need to study more. I need to know all the tenses. I need 1,000 more words. Then I will start speaking. But this idea is not helpful. It actually stops you from improving. The truth is simple. You become better at speaking by speaking, not by waiting until you are perfect. Think about how babies learn. Here's another example. Think about babies. How do they learn to speak? Do babies study grammar books? No. Do they make vocabulary lists? No. They listen, they repeat, they try to speak. They make many mistakes, but slowly, they get better. This is how our brains are designed to learn languages, by doing, not just by studying. The problem with school English. In many schools, English classes focus more on writing and grammar tests. Maybe you got good grades because you could write essays or answer grammar questions. But then, when you meet a native speaker or when you need to use English in real life, suddenly you feel lost. You don't know what to say. This shows something very important. Knowing English and using English are two different things. It's not your fault. So if you are studying grammar and vocabulary every day but still cannot speak, it does not mean you are not smart. It does not mean you are not working hard. It simply means you are not practicing the exact skill you want to improve, speaking. And here is the main message. Studying is helpful, but only speaking can make you a speaker. Start small, but start today. If your goal is to speak English fluently and confidently, then you must practice speaking every day, even for just a few minutes. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until you think you are perfect. That day may never come. Start small. Start simple. Start today. Why speaking is the key. Now, let's talk about why speaking is the key to learning. Speaking is not just another skill. It is the heart of language learning. If your goal is to speak English well, then speaking must become your main activity. But why is speaking so important? Let me explain. First, remember this. The main purpose of language is communication. We use language to say what we think, share how we feel, ask questions, tell stories, give opinions, understand others. And how do we do all of this? By speaking. So if language is for communication, then speaking is the most natural and useful way to practice. Think about your first language. How do you use it? Do you spend most of your time reading grammar books in your native language? Of course not. You talk to people. That is why, if you want English to feel natural, you must speak it. When you speak with someone, you listen, you answer, and you react. That is real communication. How children learn. Now, think about children and how they learn their first language. This is a very powerful example. Children don't begin with grammar books or long vocabulary lists. They listen to the people around them, their parents, brothers, sisters, and friends. They hear the same words again and again. After some time, they start repeating those words. At first, they speak very slowly. They use only a few words. But little by little, they get better and better. Do children worry about grammar? No. Do they care if they make mistakes? No. They just keep speaking, and that is how they learn. They learn by using the language, not by studying it. The big lesson for you. This is very important for you to understand. Backhand index pointing right, you learn to speak by speaking, not by studying. Studying grammar helps you know the rules. Reading gives you more vocabulary. Listening helps you hear how words are used. But only speaking gives you confidence, fluency, and speed. Only speaking teaches you how to answer in real time. Think about other skills. Let's compare it with other skills in life. Imagine learning the guitar. Can you learn only by reading about it? No. You must pick up the guitar and play. Imagine learning to drive a car. Can you learn only by watching YouTube videos? No. You must sit in the car, hold the wheel, and actually drive. Speaking English is exactly the same. The only way to get better is to practice with your mouth and your voice, not just with your eyes and your brain. How your brain learns when you speak. When you speak, your brain starts to work in a very special way. It connects words, phrases, and grammar naturally. You stop thinking too much about rules, and you start using the language. The more you speak, the faster your brain finds the right words. Over time, speaking becomes easier and more natural. Also, speaking helps you remember words better. If you say a new word in a real sentence out loud, it becomes part of your active vocabulary. That means you can use it anytime you want. But if you only read or write the word, it may stay in your passive memory. You understand it when you see it, but you cannot use it when you speak. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Many learners feel shy or afraid to speak. They are worried about making mistakes. But this fear stops them from improving. Here is the truth. Mistakes are part of learning. Every good English speaker, even native speakers, makes mistakes sometimes. So don't wait until you feel perfect. That day may never come. Start speaking today with whatever English you know. Use simple words. Use short sentences. That is how you build real fluency. Practice, even alone. And here is something important. You don't always need a teacher or a partner to practice speaking. Even speaking to yourself helps. When you talk out loud in English, even when you are alone, you train your brain, your tongue, and your voice to work together. This is very powerful practice. What you really need is not perfection. What you need is courage. The main message. So, let's sum it up. Language is for communication. Speaking is the best way to practice. Children learn by speaking, not studying, and you can too. You don't need perfect grammar to start. The more you speak, the more fluent and confident you become. Speaking is not the final step in learning English. Speaking is the heart of your English journey. If you want to become a good speaker, you must speak. There is no secret formula for fluency. The answer is simple. Speak more every day and your English will grow. Now, in this part of the episode, let's talk about something very important, making mistakes. Mistakes are good. One of the biggest reasons people don't speak English is because they are afraid of making mistakes. Maybe this has happened to you. You want to say something, but then you stop. You think, what if I say it wrong? What if I use the wrong word? What if I make a grammar mistake? So instead of speaking, you stay silent. But here is the truth. Making mistakes is not bad. In fact, making mistakes is good. Let me repeat that. Mistakes are good. They help you learn. They help you grow. Every time you make a mistake, you learn something new. You understand what works and what doesn't. You remember better for next time. A mistake is not the end. It is a step forward. Think about children. Let's think again about children learning their first language. Do children speak perfectly? No. They make mistakes all the time. They say funny things. They use the wrong words. They make incorrect sentences. But do they stop speaking? No. They keep talking. They keep trying. And that's how they improve, by making many mistakes. It's exactly the same for you. You are learning a new language. You are not supposed to be perfect. Perfection is not the goal. Communication is the goal. How mistakes help your brain. When you make a mistake while speaking, something very powerful happens in your brain. Your brain notices, that didn't sound right. Let's fix it. And then your brain remembers the correct way much better. This is real learning, not just from memorizing rules, but from using the language and correcting yourself. For example, imagine you say, he go to school every day. Someone tells you a small mistake. It should be, he goes to school every day. Now, because you said it out loud and got feedback, you will probably remember this better than if you only read it in a grammar book. Why? Because it came from experience, not just study. Mistakes build confidence. Also, when you make mistakes and keep going, you build something very important: confidence. You learn that mistakes are not dangerous. They are normal. They are part of the process. The more you speak, the more mistakes you make, and the less afraid you feel. That is how confidence grows. But what if people laugh? You may think, but what if people laugh at me? The truth is, most people will not laugh. In fact, most people will respect you for trying to speak a second language. They know it's not easy. And if someone does laugh or correct you, don't worry. That's okay. Use it to learn. Smile and keep going. Remember this: the only people who never make mistakes are the people who never try. If you are making mistakes, it means you are trying. It means you are learning. It means you are moving forward. And that is something to be proud of. You don't need perfect English. You don't need perfect English to speak. You need brave English. Brave English is the kind of English that is not afraid to be wrong. It is the kind of English that is honest, natural, and used every day. So, next time you feel nervous about speaking, tell yourself, it's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes help me learn. Every mistake you make is one step closer to fluency. If you don't speak, you don't improve. So the solution is simple: just speak. Speak in class. Speak with friends. Speak to yourself. Speak into your phone. Just keep speaking. Every time you speak, even if you make mistakes, you are improving. Mistakes equals growth. To sum it up, mistakes are a natural and important part of learning. You cannot grow if you never make mistakes. Every mistake helps your brain learn and improve. Confidence comes from speaking, not from being perfect. So even when your English is not perfect, be proud of your effort. Don't wait to be perfect. Just speak. Creating your own English environment. Now, let's move to the next part of this episode. How can you practice speaking if you don't live in an English-speaking country? What if you don't have English-speaking friends? Don't worry. You can still create your own English-speaking environment. You can surround yourself with English so that speaking becomes a natural part of your daily life. How to start speaking today. Now that you know why speaking is so important and why mistakes are actually good, you might be asking, okay, but how do I start speaking today? I don't live in an English-speaking country. I don't have anyone to practice with. What can I do? Great question. And here's the good news. Backhand index pointing right, you don't need to wait for the perfect country, the perfect moment, or the perfect partner. You can start speaking today, right now, even by yourself. 1. Talk to yourself. One of the easiest ways to practice speaking is to talk to yourself in English. Yes, really. You can speak English to yourself at home, in your room, or even while walking. Describe what you are doing, what you see, or what you feel. For example, if you are cooking, say, "Now I'm cutting vegetables," or "I need to boil the water." If you are walking, say, "The sun is bright today," or "I see a dog running." It might feel strange at first, but it really works. When you talk to yourself, you practice vocabulary, grammar, and fluency at the same time. You also train your brain to form sentences faster and more naturally. 2. Find a speaking partner. Another great way is to find a speaking partner. This person doesn't need to be perfect in English. They just need to want to practice, just like you. You can find partners on language exchange apps, Telegram or Facebook groups, or even by joining online communities. You can also use Zoom or Skype to set up weekly speaking calls. When you talk to someone regularly, your speaking improves very quickly. And the best part? It's fun. You can share your learning journey with someone else. 3. Use voice messages. If you're not ready for live conversations, try sending voice messages. This is a good step between talking to yourself and having a real-time conversation. You can use WhatsApp, Telegram, or other apps. Send small voice messages in English. Say, "Good morning." Talk about your day. Share your opinion about a topic. This gives you time to think before speaking. It helps you practice pronunciation and sentence building. And it lets the other person reply in their own time. It's low pressure, but very effective. 4. Try shadowing. Another powerful technique is called shadowing. Here's how it works. You listen to someone speaking English from a video, podcast, or audio recording. Then you repeat what they say right after them, or even at the same time. Shadowing helps you improve your pronunciation, rhythm, and fluency. It trains your brain and tongue to work faster, just like in real conversations. You copy the speaker's pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm. It's like becoming their shadow. This trains both your mouth and your ears to sound more natural and fluent. Start small. Repeat short sentences. Pause and then speak. If it feels too fast, slow down the audio. With time, your pronunciation and fluency will get much better. You can practice shadowing with your favorite YouTube channels, audiobooks, or even podcasts like this one. Record your voice. Here's another powerful tip. Record yourself and listen to it. Many learners avoid this because they don't like how they sound. But this is actually one of the best ways to improve your speaking. When you record yourself, you become more aware of how you speak. You notice your pronunciation, your speed, your grammar. You can even compare your speaking with native speakers and focus on the parts you want to improve. Don't be afraid of your own voice. It's not a mistake, it's your learning tool. You can record a short story, your opinion about something, or even a diary entry in English. Try recording once a day. If you do, you'll see big progress very quickly. Active practice equals real fluency. All of these methods, shadowing, recording, talking to yourself, using voice messages, help you practice actively, not passively. You're not just listening. You're not just reading. You are using English. And that's how fluency is built. Not only by studying rules, but by speaking regularly in real life. So today, I invite you, choose one of these methods and start. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait until you feel ready. You are ready now. Backhand index pointing right, speak to yourself. Backhand index pointing right, record your voice. Backhand index pointing right, find someone to exchange messages with. Backhand index pointing right, start shadowing your favorite English speaker. These may feel like small steps, but they create big changes. You don't need a perfect environment. You can build your own English world right where you are. Make speaking a daily habit. Even 10 minutes a day can create huge progress. So, are you ready? Pick one way and start speaking today. Simple daily practice ideas. Many learners ask me, how can I practice speaking English every day? They know speaking is important. They want to improve. But they don't always know what to say, how to start, or how to keep going. If that sounds like you, don't worry. I've got you covered. Here are some easy daily speaking ideas you can start using today, even if you are alone. 1. Speak about your day. One of the most powerful things you can do. Talk about your day for 5 minutes. Choose a time, maybe in the morning or before bed, and simply speak out loud about your day. Say what you did, how you felt, what you liked, or what was difficult. You don't need perfect English. Just speak. For example, today I woke up at 7 a.m. I made coffee. Then I went to work. My boss gave me a new task. I felt a little nervous, but I tried my best. This is real-life speaking. It helps you remember useful words and phrases. It also connects your English to your real world, which is a powerful way to grow fluency. 2. Describe things around you. Another simple practice. Describe what you see. Look around your room. What do you notice? Try to describe everything in English. For example, I see a white chair. It looks comfortable. The table is made of wood. My phone is on the table. You can do this anywhere, on the bus, in the park, in the kitchen. This practice makes English part of your thinking. And the more you think in English, the faster you speak in English. There is a desk next to the window. On the desk, there is a laptop and a notebook. When you practice like this, you learn vocabulary naturally. You start using words like on, under, next to, between, words that are very useful for describing things in everyday life. You can also do this while walking outside. For example, the sky is blue. There are two birds flying. A man is riding a bike. This is simple, fun, and a great way to practice thinking in English. Ask and answer your own questions. Another powerful practice idea is to ask yourself questions and answer them. This may sound funny at first, but it's a great way to prepare for real conversations. You can pretend you're talking to someone. For example, what's your favorite food? My favorite food is pizza. I love the cheese and the crispy crust. Why do you like it? Because it tastes delicious, and it reminds me of family dinners. You can practice with common topics like your hobbies, your job, your family, or your favorite movie. The more you practice asking and answering, the easier real conversations will feel. This is how you train your brain to think quickly in English. Use simple conversation starters. Sometimes we feel stuck because we don't know how to begin. That's where easy conversation starters help. Try phrases like, today I want to talk about. Let me tell you about my weekend. Here's what happened today. I have a funny story to share. I'm feeling happy today because. These openers make it easier to begin speaking without overthinking. Once you start, words will begin to flow. And remember, even if you make mistakes, it's okay. The goal is not perfection. The goal is practice, confidence, and fluency. Daily time and consistency. Here's something very important. You don't need hours. Just 5 to 10 minutes a day is enough to see real progress. The secret is consistency. Speaking English daily, even a little, makes you feel more natural, more comfortable, and more ready to speak with others. You can also use your phone to support this habit. Set a timer for 5 minutes and start speaking. Use a voice recorder to track your practice. Or create an English speaking diary. For example, each day you can say, hello, this is my English speaking practice. Today and continue from there. This is your private space. No one is watching. No one is judging. It's your time to grow. The power of daily habits. If you keep doing these small things, speaking about your day, describing your environment, asking yourself questions, and using simple starters, your speaking will improve. Words will come faster. You'll feel more confident. And one day, when someone speaks to you in English, you'll reply naturally, with a smile, not with fear. Daily practice builds strong habits. And strong habits create real change. So don't wait for a perfect moment. Start today. Speak a little. Speak every day. And enjoy the process. You are not just learning English. You are building a new skill, a new confidence, and a new way to express yourself to the world. Backhand index pointing right. In the next part of this podcast, we'll talk about how to stay consistent and motivated, even when you're busy, tired, or not sure if you're improving. Motivation and final advice. Learning a language can sometimes feel like a long journey. But remember this: small steps done every day lead to big progress. And that's why daily speaking practice is so powerful. First of all, speak every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. You don't need to spend hours speaking. Just 5 minutes a day can have a huge impact over time. Why? Because when you practice daily, you build a habit. And habits are what make you successful. You don't need the perfect moment. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need consistency. Second, don't aim for perfection. Many learners wait until they feel ready, but that day may never come. It's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are not a problem. They are proof that you're trying. They are steps forward, not steps back. Remember, speaking is about communication. If people understand you, you're already winning. Third, speaking builds confidence. At first, you might feel nervous or shy. That's normal. But every time you speak, you take a step forward. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you create through practice. Each time you use your English voice, you're teaching your brain, I can do this. And I want you to know something, you can do it. I believe in you. I know it's not always easy, but daily speaking, even for a few minutes, will bring you results. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't wait for the perfect time. Start today. So here's my challenge for you. Backhand index pointing right, pick one speaking tip from today's episode and try it right now. Talk about your day. Describe something around you. Or ask and answer your own questions. Just start. Speak today. Take pride in every step forward. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate your progress. And remember, English is not just a subject. It's a skill, it's communication, and it's a journey. Every step counts. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Fluent English Journey. I hope these tips inspire you to speak every day. Keep going, keep practicing, and soon you'll look back and be amazed at how far you've come. You've got this. Glowing star. Podcast outro, polished version. The more you practice, the more confident you'll feel. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just speak. If you found this episode helpful, I'd love for you to share it with your friends who are also learning English. The more people we can help, the better. You can share this podcast on social media or simply send the link to someone who might enjoy it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Fluent English Journey. By subscribing,